Well, hello, all my little ghosts and ghoulies. Back to The Holler with me, your host, Jack LaCroix, as ever. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in to our Scarlet Hollow Let's Play, I highly recommend going back and viewing the previous episodes over on the playlist on my channel. We just beat Chapter 1, so you're going to be kind of confused if you're not exactly sure where to start. Start with Episode 1, it's always the easiest. Anyways, before we go any further, I would like to once again thank the very lovely, very beautiful Bunny for donating this game to me and giving me something fun and exquisite to play over here on my channel. Bunny, if you're listening to this, I love you very much. Alright, so we have just woke up after an absolutely terrible night out in the holler, and let's go ahead and see what the new day brings us. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Well, I say that to myself every morning I get up. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window in the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember the sight of a pale face jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. I think we should probably text Stella first. It's probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well. Can't ever go wrong with a cat. Might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime... oh, goodness. Excuse me, I keep on coughing. I say, let's check on that possum in the drawer. You open the drawer and check on the little possum you met yesterday. Oh good, he's still here. That's nice. Leave the little man in peace. Why do you have a sandwich? You decide to leave him alone. Get dressed and head down to the kitchen. Time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Fro eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. We're gonna leave her be. We were told not to try and pet her, though she is a big, chunky cat. Oh my gosh. Let's try talking to her. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet your beautiful fur? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over, as silly as that may seem. You are, after all, talking to a cat. Fro merely flicks her tail faster. It doesn't look promising. Hey. You sure took your time getting up. I had a really rough night. Can you cut me some slack? No. It's not my fault that Stella got you all worked up, and I'm up late enough as it is, so listen up. I wanted to make sure I relayed this message to you in person in case you decided to ignore my text again. I don't want any repeats of last night. From now on, no running around in the woods after dark. It's dangerous out there. You could fall down a cliff. You could get stuck in a hidden cave somewhere. You could get lost in the woods and never be found. Just because nothing happens here doesn't mean it's safe. And just because Stella spends a lot of time in the woods, it doesn't mean she'll keep you out of trouble. I want you home by sunset from here on out. I'm an adult. What are you doing, like, pushing me around? I'm sorry about last night, but what you're doing is unacceptable. Whatever, just stay out of trouble and we can deal with this later. I'm late enough as it is. I'm going to work and I expect to see you here at sunset. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you're the only human in the estate. A text from Stella. It's another tired cat. Hope you're holding up okay, or as good as you can with all the new stuff we saw last night. I was up most of the night on cryptid forums. No real answers yet. I'm at the library now if you want to join. I have scones. Yeah, let's go ahead and head that way. Cool, on my way. And that's that. Time to start your day. Let's go check out the garden first. You wander into the garden, hoping to get a little fresh air and perspective before you start your day. That's beautiful, but wildly untamed and overgrown. You wander further into the garden. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch what looks to be a set of heavy imprints in the bush. Let's go investigate. That's a boot with some sludge. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print, a big boot, and what looks like some kind of viscera. You can't help but think the spot in the garden provides a perfect view into your room. Your thoughts turn into the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo, just in case it comes in handy later. Let's go ahead and text Stella. Look what I found in the garden across from my window. No way that's Tabitha-sized. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. Go to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday, when you didn't know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. The autumn-tinged mountains sprawling for miles in every direction now feel less like the beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Jeez, that's creepy. All the more reason to come by the library. Look who I found at the library! She said she was up all night thinking about the video, adding you to the group text. I'm only here because it's quieter than the store, or was, and I'm trying to figure out what that animal could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff. We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings, and they are harbingers of doom. Sounds like they're having fun. You know what? Let's not reply and just let them go about. You put your phone away without replying. They'll see you soon enough. Almost back to town. You make it to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you. No scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, hoping you forget the things you've witnessed as if they all happened to someone else. Oh, hey Jack! Oh, there they are. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend, and well, you're the biggest thing to come into town since the coal mine. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you. You went out with Stella last night, right? Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. And Gretchen wasn't with her. They're never apart. Wow, I like Avery, but I don't know how much truth we can tell him. If Stella didn't say anything, then it's probably not my place. Okay, I guess that's fair. I hope everything's okay. I'll tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. Why don't you swing by the diner if you want to decompress? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend. Maybe it'll help calm you down a bit. I think you'll like today's mix. It's chaga and lemon balm. Should help ease your stress and tension. And if you feel like talking, I'll be all ears. But no pressure. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Jack. See you, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night. I better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. What aren't you telling us? You're awfully relaxed given everything you told us last night. I've shared what I know about the ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things I need tending to. Stay safe, Jack, and God bless. See, Sybil reminds me so much, and I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, of there's kind of this thing in the South where everybody has a granny, even if that's not your granny. And that leads into Appalachian folk magic and stuff like that. There's lots of like teas and herbal remedies and things I could go on for hours at a time. But I like the way they're executing that trope here. You probably have a bit of time before you're needed at the library. You know what? Let's go talk to Avery. You head towards the diner. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Yeah, let's talk to Avery. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you exchange words, Winnie saddles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that the sound a pen makes? Wait, pen like a pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just going to frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time. But maybe I should switch to Sudoku. When he leaves, Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. Let's try the tea first. You hesitantly take a sip of your tea. It tastes like you're drinking mold that someone tried to unsuccessfully spruce up with lemon balm. Oh no. You take another sip. The flavor is strong and slightly unpleasant, but something that tastes this bad must be good for you. Wow, not a lot of folks take to chaga so quickly. It's a fungus that grows on birch trees around here, supposedly super healthy, and it makes for a challenging drink. Color me impressed. I knew that was the right thing to do. I get a feeling that was important. You spill the beans, glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've just witnessed. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I can't believe Gretchen is really gone. Seemed like that dog was going to live forever. And monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. Well, I've lived in the same place relatively in North Carolina for about 34 years now. Surprise! I'm an old geezer by internet standards, and you usually don't hear about those until people think you're a native. I wonder how long Avery's been in this part. I can't say I like the thought of it. Do you regret moving here? I don't think I'd have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. Fair enough. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Aw, man, looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Chaga's had a chance to start working its magic. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or if anything else strange and unusual comes up. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. I had a feeling I could trust Avery. I don't want to go by the general store yet. Usually in the South, the general store is where all the old men hang out and like chew tobacco and to express their politics, and don't really think that's the place for me yet. So we're going to the library. Oh my gosh, look at this library. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been covered in rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh hey, you made it! You quietly shush Stella before heading over to her and Kanika's table. This is a library. You made it. Glad you could join us. Morning, Jack. You look tired. Let's see. Let's say... Yeah, it was hard to sleep. It was pretty hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. Can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Oh, before I forget, we gotta talk about that photo you sent me this morning. Kanika, check this out. Jack found it in Tabby's garden this morning, right in the line of sight of their room. What in the world is that liquid around it? It looks like pus. Let's see. I think it's Wayne, dude. Do you think it's Wayne? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Jack by name, and those boot prints match up with the mining getup. Wow, apparently I missed a lot last night, huh? Wonder if there's any connection between that guy and what happened in the woods last night. Like what? I mean, I don't have anything specific, but we do have the whole prophecy of impending doom angle to explore, and this photo is weird. I can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If he's sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Hey there, strangers! And a literal stranger? Hey, I'm Jack, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But the Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, the chief librarian. And only librarian. Oscar, I'm so sorry. I know I butchered your fucking name. Oh. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't really know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves with boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my text, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs with. They're good kids at heart, I'm sure. They're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. Yeah, we're gonna say nothing. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of the creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like the Pillsbury Doughboy, but if he was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters the region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. I'm pretty sure Stella's breaking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in the woods. Yeah, we gotta mention the wildlife. Whatever's out there in the woods has been brutalizing the local wildlife. I don't think it's safe. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Thanks, Kanika. And Jack, if you see a 13-year-old girl with black braid and glasses, would you please at least let her know I'm worried about her out here? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him! I just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Huh. So we're checking out the book about the coal mines because that seems the most, reliable thing. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exasperated by a short stint serving as a captain of the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to... excuse me. Reading about crazy old Confederates has a way of choking me up. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all the elegant Scarlet Estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. That would probably go to the Biltmore House in Asheville. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the death of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Let's go with Appalachian folk monsters. A few entries catch your eye. Yeah, these are all North Carolina legends. I've heard the Wampus Cat, the Tommyknockers, and the Tallypo. The Tallypo was actually told to me by my grandmother when I was a kid to encourage me to go to bed on time. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supporters of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. I don't feel like any of these other ones really fit. You close the book and put it back. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can roll out any natural disasters that are as what brought the ditchlings here. But not unclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Cat! Before you respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Oh, that actually looks like my cat. I have a cat named Bat Cat. He's about a 20-pound tomcat, only his eyes are yellow. He does have those very prominent pointed ears, though, as well. Ah, hey, Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper you can find. Haha, don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Sorry, if Pixel's bothering y'all, hopefully he hasn't cobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to what isn't him. We're gonna leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if you need anything. So, Appalachian folk monsters. Do you think the ditchlings are Tommyknockers? What with the whole warning thing? Good thought, but Tommyknockers live in mines. That's like their whole thing. I'm gonna write that down, though. Tommyknockers aren't literally just the sounds that happens when a bunch of rocks and woods are about to collapse. Are they? Or are they the sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks to support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know. Let's move on. Do you think Wayne factors into any of this? I honestly wouldn't be shocked. There's something seriously wrong with him. Like, I can viscerally feel it in my guts. Maybe he's sick. Maybe that has something to do with what you saw in the woods. I don't know. I'd buy it. Do you guys think there's, like, a cult here? Maybe the ditchlings were, like, summoned as a part of a ritual or something? I'd assumed the spiral we found was some sort of nest made by the ditchlings, but yeah, maybe we had cause and effect backwards. I'm writing it down. It's much more likely that the thing was a nest than it was that some sort of magical ritual saved. I mean, you're right, but... Why don't we just help look for Rosalina? If there's a missing kid in town, that's probably way more important than whatever else we'd be doing. Oh, I appreciate the offer, Jack, but I don't think she's missing so much as going through a bit of a rebellious phase. I don't even know where we'd look aside from the old Maxwell place. What do teens even like to do these days? Play Roblox. Lots of Roblox, I've come to find out. You don't have to worry about checking up on her. I'm going there myself once I've finished shelving. Just let me know if you run into her while you're out. Maybe we should go to the mines. There was a collapse a while back and a lot of people died. Maybe the ditchlings are here to warn us about something like that happening again. And hey, maybe we'll look out and run into Rosalina while we're around. Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what happened to Wayne while we're at it. I feel like I don't have much of a say in this, but okay. It just makes the most sense to start there. We can make it quick, just question a few miners and be done with it. The fate of the town might rest on our shoulders after all. The only problem is Tabitha. She's not exactly going to be thrilled to see us snooping around those mines. We can be sneaky. I'll make sure I'm a good lookout. She'll never even know we were there. Look at us, going out on a caper together. I missed this. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though there is something missing. Reese! I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize he was getting so bad. That poor guy. You know, we could just pop over there and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Jack. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. Alright, let's roll out. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thank you guys. I'll keep you posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of a forest wall with an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. That is a really nice house. What the fuck? Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too. Oh, I love her hat. That's so awesome. Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's been so long since either of us have gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Jack would get along super well, too. Stella's right. We're just going out for a light walk. I've heard such great things about your son. I'm only in town for a few more days, and it'd be a shame if I didn't get the chance to meet him. Dr. Kelly looks you up and down and sighs. All right, you win. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'd brighten his spirits to see you two again. I'm sure he'll be happy to meet you too, Jack. That'd be great. I could bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No, eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay, I'll bring soda then. That's not... Okay, yes, fine. Bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. Okay, no dogs. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Why does Kanika seem afraid of the doctor? Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me nervous. Are you okay, Stella? I'm fine. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She's always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool, I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Jack. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way, it works for me. You know what? I think we're actually going to pause it right here. This is a good start to the second chapter. I am so enjoying this game. Oh my gosh. And surprisingly, I don't get a lot of time to sit down and play video games. I keep a rather very busy schedule here over at both YouTube and abroad. And I'm just really enjoying this one. Though I'm pretty sure I'm going to ride with Kanika. Mostly because I think she's super cute. All right, everybody, take care. We'll probably have another episode of this next week. Same time, same channel, same place. Take care. I love you. And remember to watch out for all those creepy crawlies out there in the dark.